on their own, developing the stamina and the pitches that they need. So they're both hard workers. We're looking forward to good pitching.
Well, to be good at anything, you've got to practice. To be great, you've got to practice even more and have that natural talent. All right, who is our next player up? Softball player. We got Coach Madry and 3 of the captains in so far this morning from the Wayne County softball team. The upcoming season starting in August. And our next player is?
Haley Dennison.
All right, and your parents?
Angie Dennison and Robbie Dennison.
Okay. What position do you play?
I mainly play first base and I pitch some.
Okay. And what else do you need to talk about? You got all kinds of stuff.
We got a whole schedule here, and our first home game is August the 8th. It's a Tuesday, and it's against Pierce County at 6 o'clock, and we need some support. So.
Okay. Who are your region teams this year? Who will you playing for the region title?
New Hampstead, Statesboro, Ware, South Effingham, and
that's it.
That's it.
I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it. So that's your region. That's who you'll try to win the region championship, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, Coach, do y'all have, or do you know if you have like a region championship series, or just who has the most wins?
We actually have a region tournament.
You have a region tournament at the end of the season, which is in what month? October?
It starts in November.
November. So you go all the way through to November with regular season. Okay. And y'all got a bunch of games you play all over the place, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, I'm looking at your sheet there. There's like 20-something, almost 30-something games on there. There's a lot of games on there that y'all play during the course of the season.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of home games, a lot of away games. And does it make a big difference when you're sitting here at home at the Barbara Strokoff Field and you just see the place packed with that cheering crowd? Does that mean a lot to you players?
It honestly does, especially like seniors. Especially, we just want a lot of support.
Okay.
From everyone.
And not only do you want to see the parents and the adults out there, but you like seeing that student body out there also, the folks that you walk the hallways with and have the classes with. That means a lot,
yes, sir.
Right?
That does mean a lot.
Okay. All right. Next player is?
Mary Tillman.
Mary Tillman. Your parents are?
Jeff and Carol Tillman.
Okay. And all of y'all seniors. And what position do you play?
I pitch and I play shortstop.
Okay. And tell us a little about, you got some things to talk about this morning also? No? You okay.
Yeah.
Who are the teams that you really like playing? The ones that you really get fired up for?
Well, I like South Effingham because that's just kind of a region rivalry, and we just really show out those days.
Okay, so South Effingham is your main team that you like to win. Are they the ones y'all usually fighting for region championship?
Yes, sir.
Because, I mean, every year y'all are fighting for region championship. I mean, y'all really are right up there. And I guess y'all's goal is to get to that Final Four in Columbus every year.
Yes, sir.
And to get there and to make a good showing. So, and a very experienced team this year. Just one senior coach, I believe, that graduated, and they're all, got a big junior class and sophomore class. So if you got the experience there, should be a very big competitive advantage for y'all, right?
Yes.
Usually when you see a senior-dominated team that's had success, usually that senior year, they have a really good season.
Yeah, I think we'll be really good this year. We're all coming together, and I just think it's going to be a fun year.
Now, y'all got 6 captains. How do y'all divide the responsibilities there? I mean, do y'all take votes on something, or how do you do that when you got 6 captains? Okay, going back over. Introduce yourself once again.
I'm Shelby, and mainly we just come together and just come to one decision, and then we just disperse it all to everybody else.
Okay, so y'all 6 come together and arm wrestle or do something to see who wins.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors. Make it easy. You don't want to mess them arms up.
No, sir.
So rock, paper, scissors. If there's a 4-2 vote or something like that. So great. We look forward to a fantastic season. We broadcast the home softball games, and I know that means a lot to the folks here in the community who just cannot get out there for some reason. Because usually y'all begin at 4 or something like that, don't you?
Some games we begin at 4. If we have a double header, we'll begin at 4. And then usually our games start at 6.
At 6. Okay. All right. And you got this, do you have several double headers this year or just a couple of them? As they look down at their sheets there. Most of them are single games, but ever so often you will have a doubleheader during the course of the season. But 6 o'clock is most of the games.
Yes,
okay?
sir. It's mainly every game 6 o'clock.
Do y'all have lights out there at the field?
We do.
In case it starts getting a little dark
We
there,
do.
especially on doubleheaders.
We just get people to turn their flashlight on their phone. That's it.
All them cell phones out. Be like the Legend of Beggar Vance, where everybody pulls up in the outfield and have their lights on there.
Turn their car lights on, turn them on bright.
Yes, sir. And well, we look forward to a fantastic softball season. A senior looks like a senior-dominated squad this year. A lot of experience, a lot of success. How far did y'all get in the playoffs last year?
I think we got to Sweet 16.
Sweet 16 last
and
year.
we couldn't make it past that. And I'm telling you,
does that eat at you some?
It does.
Do you look at that?
It does.
And I know when I was a junior at Wayne County High School and I ran the mile and 2 mile, and we had the state meet up in Atlanta, and the first time I'd been to a state meet, and the excitement and the pageantry and all the runners from all over the state, I was really nervous and didn't do all that well. But I came back my senior year, and it was the state track meet was in Jefferson, Georgia, which is I guess where it's been just about ever since then. And I placed third in the state in the 2 mile, and it made a big difference. Having that experience under your belt of being in the playoffs like y'all have, to be able to just put that type of feeling behind you where you're concentrating on performing instead of the event itself.
Yes, sir. I believe all of us seniors, like since our freshman year, we've been to state.
Yes.
And then just last year, it was weird not going. It was like we didn't know what to do with ourselves.
had more extra time than you knew what to do with. Okay.
Well, Dave, looking at this, the last couple of years, and you had success, and just when we know the region, the schedule there, but statewide, who's a tough competition. We hear about Buford all the time. But again, these girls, as you mentioned, of years, and let's say Sweet 16 in 2010, Final Four in 2012, Final Four 2013, Elite Eight in 2014 and 15, and then last year Sweet 16. Like I said, they weren't familiar with that, but this team is primed to make a nice big run and get back to Columbus. So statewide, who's the tough competition going to come from?
We hope we're primed and ready. We're certainly looking that way. We're not looking past the start date that Shelby mentioned, a tough opponent in Pierce County starting August the 8th. So we'll take this marathon at a marathon's pace and hope to finish strong at the end of October and November. But there are some real competitive teams in the 5A class. Walnut Grove, who eliminated us last year, as Shelby was talking about, ended up being state runner-up. They'll be a powerhouse again. They did have a heavy senior group, but they also had some younger rostered players that were quite talented. And, of course, Buford, who's won the state championship for I don't know how many years in a row in girls fast pitch, is in the 5A bracket as well.
Remember that University of Buford up there, but they recruit from all over the place, yeah.
Okay. And so those two teams I look forward to be strong. That was your state winner and your state runner-up last year. But if you just come right here to our region, we had a real good showing from our region last year. We had a young region. There weren't a lot of seniors in our region last year. In fact, Ware County, who was our third seed, fell into that bracket and took it all the way up to Columbus and won a couple of games up there. Of course,
did y'all pull for the region teams? I mean, they're your not say bitter enemies, but they are your competition during the course of the season for that region championship. But if they go another round further than y'all do y'all say, go Ware County, go South Effingham? Do you do that?
Well, at the
no.
Most of us play travel ball, so we know a lot of them.
Uh-huh.
So, when we see them do good and win games,
So you don't like keeping it in the family? Like, if the region's like a family, but, families fight against each other a lot, but when somebody else goes against a family member, you back them. I mean, I know in the SEC, I know except for maybe a couple of teams, that if a football team in the SEC gets further than Georgia does, I'm usually pulling for that SEC team, okay? But if in y'all's region, let's say if South Effingham or Ware County goes to another round further than y'all do, another bracket, you didn't play against them, but they're another bracket, do you say you want your region to win? Because if your region wins, that makes y'all look better, doesn't it?
It does. And we usually have the saying that when we play them, we're not friends with them. But once the game's over, we're friends with them. And we'll support them, and we expect the same from them.
But that's after the end of the season. You don't want to be friends with them during the course of the season, do you?
You got to act like it.
You got to act like it. We do have a comment that just came. If you have any questions or comments about the softball team, the players, or anything like that on the world famous Butch and Bob show this morning, you can text us on our main studio and business line. Text us. It's text enabled at 912-427-3711, 912-427-3711. Somebody just texted in, congratulations to Mary Tillman for being selected Region Pitcher of the Year last year. So congratulations. Oh, the mic fell. The mic fell. Let me see if I can go get it. Hold on. Hey, Mary.
Oh, thank you very much. That means a lot.
How'd that fall?
Dave, bring that microphone back over, Dave. Just want to talk,
Oh, there we go.
this team's fun to watch because they got power hitters on the team that can play small ball, steal bases. But talk about your power hitters. You got one to the right of you, and Ms. Dennison, but you also got Logan Eccles and Mary Grace Tillman. All can hit the long ball. I mean, you see a lot of balls fly the ballpark. But talk about your power hitters.
We do, and that does make it a lot of fun to see those crowd pleasers just flying out of the park. We had a wonderful batting practice yesterday. It was like 73 and no humidity, just a slight breeze. The field was in perfect condition, and it was just fun to throw batting practice to some of these girls and just see just how far they can hit it sometimes. But yeah, Haley Dennison's going to be one of our leaders. She batted in the third spot last year and likely see herself somewhere near again. She hits for average, but she also has just tremendous strength. And when she gets a hold of one, it's a lot of fun to see it fly. You mentioned Mary Grace Manning. She was our home run leader last year. She swings the bat really flat and hard and gets that ball out of there as well. Another one of our senior captains, looking for big things from Mary Grace Manning. And Burt Calder's got a tremendous swing and a great bat as well. Another one of my captains that's not here this morning that can really turn that ball around in a hurry. You didn't mention Logan Eccles, I don't think, Bob, but I would certainly include her in a power hitting.
No, I did mention her.
You did?
Like I said, she's fun to watch because
Yes,
she can play a lot of different positions. She plays catcher. She plays shortstop. Again, I've just been impressed with the entire team. But
Yes,
like I said,
sir.
what I like about them, like I said, they can play long ball. They can play small ball.
They can.
They can do whatever they want to do. And Macy Palmer had a lot of stolen bases last year. I'm sure she's going to have a lot more this year. I mean,
I think it was 30-something.
Yeah,
just
I mean, it's
just
amazing how
an
many
extremely
stolen,
high number. She's got that uncanny knack for timing up that start on that pitcher's release, and she slides well and just has that instinct to know where the ball is and where the tag's coming, and does a good job of getting in there and stealing a lot of bases. And that's a lot of fun too, and adds another dimension. We've got a few other fast players on the team. Chloe Lyons brings some speed and good instincts on the bases, as well as Macy, and Maggie Miller can pick them up and put them down with the best of them. And Maggie's one of our players that learned to bat from the left side, so we list her as a switch hitter, and she can hit for power from the right-hand side, or she can kind of finesse and use her speed from the left-hand side. But yeah, it's a pretty balanced team. We've got some power and some speed, and mixes it up pretty good.
well, the softball team's got a good following too. When you go to the home games, great crowds on hand. But I know you want to encourage everybody, as you mentioned, to come on out for that first game on Tuesday the 8th, which is another rival. They're not in the region, but Pierce County's been a big rival with Wayne County over the past several years because they've got talented softball over there. So it should be a fun season. Looking forward to it. You mentioned the one fundraiser. Any other fundraisers that we need to mention that you have going on? Or
Well, I'll shout out a little thank you. We tried something new this year. Everybody kind of lives their life, or at least part of it, online these days. And so Coach Billy Dooley from Middle Georgia is a good friend of mine, and he had become a part of an online donations fundraising effort. And because of him and the respect I have for him, I said, well, we'll give it a try. And so each of our players entered some emails into a very secure email server site that had a request for pledges or donations to support our jacket program. And we were very surprised to see the amount of money that was coming in through that. Now, that fundraiser's over, Bob. So right now, the only one that the players are actively pursuing is this Runs for Funds.
How many runs did y'all score last year?
205 last
So you
year.
scored 205 runs last year.
Yes, sir.
Okay, does that include playoffs?
Yes, sir. That's the entire schedule, and that's what kind of throws a wild card, Mr. Butch, into this runs for funds. Is you don't really know how many games we'll end up playing.
So you do include the playoffs in it.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
As far as we
got a couple of more texts in here. Want to make sure we get these in from these listeners. Says congratulations to the seniors playing Wayne County softball. Great attitudes, outstanding coaching by Dave Madry. So from a supporter. Now you've got some talent here. These girls are very confident here this morning. How do you keep those egos in line to make sure they don't go out there and say, well, we're going to win this game because we've got the experience and the talent? How do you keep those egos in line and keep them humble? I know that Coach Saban at Alabama always coaches like he's second best, like he's got to try harder than the team that he's played, even though he's got all that talent out there. How do you do that, Coach?
Well, it's a humble group. I'd have to say they do have a lot of pride, and they do set a high bar and standard for themselves. But they're a very humble group, and I think the experience that they've had and the experience we had last year, they're always aware that the teams on our schedule, we've got one of the strongest schedules that we've probably had since I've been a part of the Lady Jacket softball this year. They recognize these teams on there are there to win as well, and if you don't take care of doing your job the way you're supposed to do, you'll get beat. And they're winners. They like to win. So the fact that we have experienced some losses before, we haven't made it to that state championship game yet, is, I think, motivation that keeps them on a level plane. But we just approach each day very practically and focus on the fundamentals, and I think that helps them all keep their vision and focus where it needs to be.
Okay, another text that just came in says that Shelby is a focused speaker with a positive attitude.
She's also a singer. I think she's going to sing the national anthem.
Are you going to sing? Are you going to sing?
I'll give a little preview.
Go right ahead.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, I got a minute. I just want to thank y'all for the cupcakes. I gave you the thank you card. I don't know what
yes,
you
sir.
there, but,
those were good.
Those were delicious. So I appreciate those. But again, looking forward to the season and the offseason. One thing I want to get you to talk about the success of the kids that have gone on to college the last several years. And softball recruiting is just like football recruiting now. A lot of these girls get offers before the season ever begins. So anybody have an offer before the season gets underway, or you girls got any ideas where you're going to go next year? Or
I think most of us are like looking into colleges, but not like heavily. Like we've been talking to some coaches and seeing what our options are, but none of us are
nobody's
like
locked in yet.
Ready to move in.
I got you.
Okay.
But you've had success the last several years. Like I said, we mentioned several players. Summer this past year. Before that, I saw Chelsea at the gym. She's having a tremendous year. Just signed with is it Presbyterian College she signed with? And
yes.
So
Chelsea
Lions.
Yeah.
So she's having, and there's some other girls that are playing collegiate ball as well. Tell us those girls.
Well, my numbers, I think, are right. In the last 5 years, we've had 17 seniors, and 16 of them have gone on to play college softball. Mia Hyatt's kind of a star because she actually took a basketball scholarship, but then ended up expanding her scholarship to 2 roles, play softball and basketball.
Where at?
Fort Valley.
Fort Valley.
Yes, sir. I got to see, I went to see Mia play, but she actually had her knee in a brace and wasn't able to play this past spring over at Mount Vernon. We had some of our other kids, Kaylee Jones and Autumn Starling, were playing there for Bruton Parker College. But I'm scared I'll leave somebody out of 16, but you're exactly right, Bob. We have had great success with our kids going on playing at the collegiate level. And their success at the collegiate level, I think, benefits even our kids that are coming, because these coaches see these Wayne County girls out there working hard and performing. They have good stats, and they're leaders in the games and the conferences, and that just generates more interest in the athletes that we have coming through our program and give these girls more opportunities. And they're being modest with you again, Mr. Butch. No one's committed, but they all do have colleges that are pursuing them. I talk to them sometimes myself, and there's a lot of interest in some of our seniors and juniors.
Now, do y'all want to play college? A lot of folks when they play high school sports say, that's it, when I go to college, I don't want to, play. Like my oldest son, Matt, he was pretty good in college, pretty good in soccer here at Wayne County High School, but went to Georgia Southern. He really didn't have that desire. Do y'all have the desire to play college softball?
I'm pretty sure most of us right now do.
Okay.
Like, we're set on that.
All right. Well, good. We're looking forward to the season. Starts on August 8th in Pierce County here at home, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Bob, any other final questions or comments for our girls this
Like I
morning?
said, just looking forward. Appreciate y'all coming in. Like I said, a lot of excitement building towards the season because a lot of anticipation. Are you ready for that? The pressure. I mean, the pressure's on. I mean,
I think most of our team does better, like, under pressure.
under
Like,
pressure.
if we're just laid back, then I think most of us just like, oh, we just messed up. But under pressure, we just understand that if we make a mistake, then it has to be fixed.
They thrive. They really do. This team thrives in a big game competition. When it's on the line, they bring their best.
Okay. Well, we look forward to it. Season begins on August 8th. Y'all there are practicing right now.
Yes, sir.
I do want y'all to know y'all are on video. Okay? Camera's right behind us here. Later today, this will be archived on the Butch and Bob Show. You go to bigdogcountry.com. Bigdogcountry.com. Click on B&B Show. You'll get, right now we're live, but we're about 20 to 25 seconds behind. So if you wave now, you won't. Well, I don't quite see you in there. One of y'all wave right there. Yeah, I can't see you. See, if you wave right now, in about 20 seconds, you'll see yourself wave because it goes through the internet and it takes a while, and then you get to see yourself. And so Jonathan will archive this. It'll be on the on our B&B Show on BigDogCountry.com for you to be able to see for the next couple of weeks. And so just wanted to let y'all know that.
I wish you'd have let us know ahead of time. I'd have done something with my hair this morning.
Oh, yeah, right. See, the girls have got, 2 or 3 girls have got theirs up in the buns, which looks great on girls. Man buns, I don't know about that. But what I like is every one of y'all came in this morning with your Wayne County T-shirts on or jackets or sweatshirts or whatever. Are y'all used to getting up this early on a summer morning? No. But we do appreciate y'all coming in this morning and representing Wayne County softball. We wish y'all the best this season. Bob will be following y'all with play-by-play on the home games and giving reports on the away games. Coach Madry, appreciate you bringing the girls in this morning. Great success this season. How many years have you been coaching the girls softball team?
As a head coach, I think this is number 5, but of course I worked with Coach Struckoff for a few years as well.
Okay.
I think it's my 5th year. 5th or 6th.
Okay. Y'all like your coach, girls?
Sometimes.
He's nice. All right, we're good. Well, y'all have a great day. We're wrapping up the Butch and Bob Show. World famous Butch and Bob Show brought to you by Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear, by Jessup Premium Stores located out here on the Waycross Highway, by Republic Services, and also brought to you by Murphy Builder Supply located on Northeast Broad Street in Jessup, located right there in downtown Jessup. Big Dog Country Radio, and coming up in just a moment here on the Big Dog, we've got your weather forecast and some other great things coming your way, state news from the Georgia News Network, and beginning tomorrow morning, we're going to give away some tickets to that Lego exposition and fun, all that kind of good stuff come up in